Yes, people, what are you saying? Welcome to Saeed TV early edition. You know what I'm saying? We're back. Man United talk, you know what I mean? I'm with Statman Bays in the building. What are you saying, bro? You good, yeah?
I'm good. I'm excited what the next couple of weeks hold now for the transfer window. It's heating up, as we
Right.
said before.
It's heating up, man. It's heating up, man. Everyone's losing their heads. You know what I mean? Heads lost. You get me? But we're going to have to delve into it, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody in the building. You know what to do already. Smash a like on the video as you tune into the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to Statman Baines. Love to everybody in the building. Big up to Conrad. Big up to everybody who's tuning in right now. Big up to Martial. Big up to everyone. But we have to stick into it, man. Where do we start? Varane, Pogba. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Pogba, innit? Because that's like the main talking point in my eyes.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? The news are heating up, man. Whether you believe Disco Mirror or not, you know, Wijnaldum talking. Pogba apparently is rejecting a contract, Statman. What are you making of it all, man? You know what I mean? It's not looking good right now. Is it inevitable now that he's going to leave now?
I think a couple of weeks ago, I was confident that he's going to leave at the end of next season on the free, innit? But you see, after Wijnaldum yesterday came out and talked about Pogba like the way he did, for me, he's gone. It's kind of like, I always say, you see Barcelona are the perfect example. The players, the legends always come out and talk about players that they're going to sign. I think they've done it with Coutinho. What happened? Coutinho went Barca. I just don't think, like, surely the club have said something to Wijnaldum about Pogba in it, which is, well, from a United point of view, frustrating. Because normally, like, you give the generic answer, oh, he's not our player, we can't talk about him.
Yeah, you do. Normally, you kind of give that answer of respect the player. You know, we respect his kind of, he's at a club right now, but it's a player that I admire. But he just went straight into it and said, yo, I want Pogba at PSG. You know what I mean? It's a perfect fit. He's a Parisian. You know, PSG have been a long-term admirer. PSG haven't really spent that much this season. A lot of people think they've spent a lot. They've only spent money on who did they spend money on? Hakimi, yeah. You know what I mean? 60 million on Hakimi, 60, 70 million. So that's all they spent. Everyone else has been on a free, you know? So I think United fans are saying, well, let him go. Is it as easy as that? Because I think of it as the fact that I don't trust this football club to replace Paul Pogba. The same way I don't trust the football club when they couldn't replace Wayne Rooney, Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick, Van Persie. We still don't have a recognised strike. When you look at it, like I love Martial, but you know, you're always waiting for something to happen. You know, is he going to offer you 30 goals a season? You don't know, do you? So it's like, for me, Man United have just never, ever kind of replaced players. We're only just bought Harry Maguire after so many years of messing around with Smalling. Who else is at our back? Johnny Evans. Jones, Rojo, Blind. You know, we've always been messing about with him. And yeah, Saeed, the wages, mate, PSG have to sell. Well, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see with that one.
Because I think the reports are that they need to sell like a couple players, innit? And the thing is that they probably will sell a couple players. I can see, like, even if they don't, I can still see them. Like, it's Pogba at the end of the day. He's a massive brand. PSG are a big club. You saw, like, with the Jordan deal and stuff, like, fashion, Pogba, it just fits like a glove, innit?
Yeah, it fits as an entity, you know what I mean? And United fans, they're saying, sell him, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people saying, get him out now. You know what I mean? He wants to leave. You know what I mean? The thing is, for me, I'm still in that precarious position. If Man United don't have a suitable replacement, I would say run his contract down, because at the end of the day, you might have a player who might. I don't think you'll have a player who will say, I don't want to play well for this football club, because he's always respected Ollie, you know? But then, go on.
The thing is with Paul Pogba, I said this, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can make Pogba, Bruno Fernandes work as 2 number 8s in it. So if Pogba leaves this summer, I'm fine with that as long as we get an adequate replacement. Do I trust the club to go get an adequate replacement? The answer is no. I've always said if Pogba leaves, go get like a... Because the thing is, we need a DM no matter what, if Pogba stays or if Pogba leaves.
Yeah.
Go look for like an actual number 8 kind of thing, like a Milinkovic-Savic, like a Goretzka, for example. And then work from there. But at the same time, like, we don't trust the club, do we?
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. You know what I mean? We're getting linked with Goretzka. We're getting linked with players that, you know, might be a kind of a make way for a contract. You know what I mean? Let's be honest with you, man. Goretzka is playing for a contract. His team have leaked it out to that guy, what's his name?
Christian Falk.
Christian Falk. They're saying that, he's looking for a contract guy. Man United are interested. That's what they do to us, man. A lot of these clubs, yeah. Man United, have you noticed Man United are the first club that you get linked with straight away? No Chelsea, no Real Madrid, no Barcelona.
Because they know we play the silly wages, isn't it? Like, our wage structure is broken. Look how much Brandon Williams is on, for example. Look how much David De Gea at the top end is on. Clubs know that.
Yeah, League One doesn't have the same strict wage in La Liga, so it won't be a problem. PSG Brighton. Perfect replacement for Pogba, Belinka for Savage. Yeah, 3-4 years ago, that was a good replacement.
No, but I don't.
Not the same player, is he anymore?
I still feel like Milinkovic Savic is a decent player. I think he got 8 goals, 9 assists in the league this year. I think it was. He's not a bad player. But it's kind of like, the thing is, any midfielder that we get from like Paul Pogba next is going to be a downgrade.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping that the midfield balance will be improved. That's my only hope if I'm trying to be optimistic.
And then that's someone saying they're getting Barella, Kessie as a replacement. I mean, Kessie, yeah, but apparently it's rumoured to go Liverpool. You know what I mean? It's a difficult one for me, man. And I think this is Man United's problem for so many years. Should he have gone when Mourinho went? And we should have maybe built for the future or built kind of like, a team. And it maybe never worked out. We should have let him just spread his wings. Because Man United now are on a predicament again where they do this every single time. They let him run down to a year and then boom. You know what I mean? And then it's like we let him go. And it's like we don't have a replacement anymore. That's my problem. And I think Man United have done this time and time again, people.
But you know what
coincidence.
You know what scares
no coincidence.
Me? We say the replacement thing here, but imagine the replacement is Donny van der Beek.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you.
That's
the cheap option. And then they go buy Camavinga just to please the fans and say, we're looking into the future. And here's a quality signing for you guys. You know what I mean? It is possible, Basuma is available for 35. Why no going after him? I'm not sure. By the way, people get the likes up.
Like with United, we always say 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Like if we sign Rafa Varane and Jadon Sancho this summer and we lose Paul Pogba, that's not a good summer. That's not a good summer at all. No. Which is kind of the frustrating thing. It depends.
Top teams keep their best players. I'm sorry. Top teams keep your best players, man. You know what I mean? If you want to build, you add on, man. You don't see City. When's the last time you see City losing a big player? When?
Leroy Sané, but even then, Pep Guardiola kind of did want him to leave.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the mad thing is, like, when you look at City's replacements here, for example, they had David Silva. They already had Bernardo Silva the year before, kind of preparing for that role. With United, like, look at Bayern Munich's recruitment, for example. If they lose Lewandowski, they're probably going to get Haaland if he doesn't leave this summer. They're that good in replacing players. Look at United, for example. Look how long it took to replace Cristiano Ronaldo, for example. Look how long it took us to get a proper centre-back.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I just think for me, if the rumours are Paul Pogba's going to leave, you might as well sell him and get a replacement in now quickly, whether that's Goretzka, whether that's someone who can fit into that mould, you know what I mean? I don't know, would Goretzka fit in this system, in what Man United are trying to do right now? Would Ole play him? If you said off air that he would play him, but, you don't know what this manager's like. He'll say, you know what, can he adapt to my team? Can he do this? Can he do that? You don't know. We thought Donny van der Beek would come in.
The only reason I think he'll play someone like Leon Goretzka, because physicality-wise, he's immense, isn't it? And obviously coming into the Premier League, that's a massive help. But for me, it's kind of like, are we going to see the best of Leon Goretzka? That's a different question. Because for me, Leon Goretzka's best attribute of his game is those late runs into the box. Yeah. Is he going to have the freedom to do those kind of things? That's another question. Because the thing is, I always say, you see with those late runs, if you're a defender and someone's coming in late, it's so hard to pick them up kind of thing. Yeah. And if Leon Goretzka doesn't have that freedom, we're just not going to see the best out of him. Because the thing is, I think he got 5 goals, 5 assists this year in the league. I think you saw it in the Euros. When he came back from injury, I think he scored against Hungary, I think it was. And that was a late run into the box, I think.
Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? Play good, get benched. Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, would he fit into the system is a problem, because then he's saying if he's doing them late runs, you know what I mean? He's not going to be able to do that if Ollie's going to be like, you know what, nah, that's Bruno's job. That's someone else, what they do. You know what I mean? I need you maybe kind of like, if we're playing this 4-3-3 formation and we do have 2 advanced eights, it could work. But then again, you don't trust Ollie to sustain that for a whole season. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? And it's like, Statman, can you play Can you play DM and say I can't do? Yeah, exactly. No one can do that though. Big up Statman saying, please, if Ollie doesn't know how to use his squad and still plays Pogba position, how will he use this place? Well, that's the problem, mate. You know, how much do you think Man United will get for Pogba? I reckon 50 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, but then again, how Varane telling us that he's worth 70 million euros then? You know,
I think that's just more to do with like negotiations, isn't it? Like you obviously start off high, then just go a bit lower.
Would you not just say to Pogba now to PSG, right? I want 60 M's for him. You know what I mean? 70 million. They couldn't do that. Does it have to be 50 million?
The thing is, United have probably said 60 to 70 million for Paul Pogba anyway, and then it's just about eventually, obviously, negotiating a fee and then meeting in the middle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, that United, like, let's be honest, United are not we're not a silly club in terms of business-wise, isn't it? They will want to sell Paul Pogba this summer if they haven't got a guarantee that he's going to sign a new contract. They want the money.
Absolutely. Lily and Rahma says, would you take Tielemans?
Yes.
He's a player that I like. I admire him. I think he's a quality player. You know what I mean? But again, Leicester will absolutely... oh, my God. How much left has he got left on his contract as well, by the way? You know what I mean? I think they will offer him a new contract.
Probably has time, you know, because like Leicester is such a well-run club.
Yeah. So, again, you're looking at maybe 70 million at least, you know?
Someone said Ben White is 50 year. Pogba has a year left on his contract, which is why his fee goes down, innit?
Exactly. Whoever gets Paul Pogba for 50 million have robbed United. Well, I wouldn't say that because at the end of the day, you know, he's got 1 year left on his contract and Man United have got themselves in a mess, you know? They're losing a valuable asset, man. And people will say to me, what has he underperformed at Man United? There's some large parts who say, when you look at the play that we were getting and whatnot and maybe to some sort of degree, but I think Man United have failed them as well because they haven't built a team around Paul Pogba. They haven't, you know, he was playing with people like Michael Carrick towards the end of his career. You know, he was playing with Fellaini, you know, sometimes in a double pivot. You know, there were certain things that were happening, you know. When he was playing in the 10 role sometimes.
With Paul Pogba, it works both ways, innit? Have we, as a club, let Paul Pogba down? Yes, because we started Pogba the dream that he was going to be the guy to win us a title. We didn't sign the players. We didn't play him in his correct position. Has Pogba been like consistent with his performances? The answer is no. But at the same time, you can't blame him because who has post Ferguson other than maybe David Hay for the first couple of years? Yeah.
Leicester would only want 60 million for Maddison. I mean, would that be an option? Maddison at United? Would you take him?
The thing is, it's kind of like Maddison is more of an attack-minded midfielder, isn't it? And then Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. Like, I still don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can coach that. Which is why I'll probably lean towards no. But I think Maddison is a top player when he's on field.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yo, people, make sure you like the video. You get me, you know what I'm saying, support the channel and whatnot. I think it's a predicament now. 3 weeks left in the transfer window, people. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, we're looking at outgoings now rather than incomings. Nothing's really happening. I mean, Varane today, you know what I mean, he's come to Real Madrid. I don't think he's training, by the way. We have to get that in. I think he did some sort of medical. I reckon it'll be the virus test. So basically, he'll be just taking tests because Benzema got
COVID
tested. So he'll be looking at that in a way where he'll be thinking, right, there'll be a few testing. They'll probably examine him, how he is, and then go on.
You see, like all the testing stuff. This is a good video for people to watch. You see Ben Foster's videos on his channel. He literally done a video on what happens at the first day back when you come back from pre-season with all the medicals and stuff. That's so interesting to watch. People want to watch that.
Yeah,
so that's probably similar to what Rafa Varane's doing.
Yeah, so is it what I mean? So again, you know what I mean? There is a talk that, you know, Varane, Real Madrid do want more for Varane. But the more you look at it, Statman, how is this looking, man? Because, you know, there is a possibility that he might stay, and there is a possibility that he will leave. But I'm just thinking, Man United, will they pay up, man? That's my problem. Will they give that contract? Because if apparently personal terms are agreed, which for me, anyone can agree personal terms, but the problem is, can Man United get that money? And someone says, hey, he's using his full contract. We've seen it before, man. Ramos. A lot of people say to me, why are you being negative? Listen, we've seen it before. You know what I mean? There isn't a reason to be positive. We've seen it with Ramos. He uses for a contract. This might be different, but again, you know what I mean? He's still living in a mansion. You know what I mean? He's still living in Real Madrid. He's still the top dog over there, you know? So it's like there isn't an urge to leave, but he would love a new experience. So again, you know, it's a difficult one, man. I just think for me, yeah, Man United have got to get this again done quickly. You know, again, we're coming up to the same kind of, you know, argument. Man United not acting quick enough. Go and get the money and say to Real Madrid, yeah, have that.
Because I don't think Rafa Varane will necessarily force a move out because he seems like quite respectable for Real, innit? Because they've kind of brought him up, kind of thing, innit?
Yeah.
And obviously, look what he's done at Real, winning 4 Champions Leagues. He's won a World Cup there, kind of thing. Which is why I'm kind of like, he won't force a move out. It's kind of similar to Jadon Sancho last summer. United, the thing is, the longer it goes on, the less likely I think it will happen. Because the thing is that Real probably still need a replacement. I think they were linked with Pau Torres the other day, which I think is a massive downgrade, but that's another story. That's their problem. Because the thing is, you look at Real centre-backs, they got Alaba, who said he wants to play midfield, Vallejo, pathetic, Nacho Fernandez, who's injury-prone, and Eder Militao, who I rate. So surely you're not going to go into those 4 as your main centre-backs next year. You have to get a replacement. And you need time to get a replacement.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, bro, I think the deal's already done, man. I think Sancho is coming to Man United, man. You know what I mean? I can't see that happening. You know what I mean? We've done our bit.
Everything's just literally been agreed. It's probably just
image rights and all that, man.
What do you call it? The video and stuff as well, isn't it? Because they want to make a little bang of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Zizis says here, this guy is your tactical analysis said it best. You can't replace Pogba 1-for-1. You can't miss. You could buy De Jong, Differo. I think De Jong would be a massive Pogba replacement. For me, is perfect for what Man United need. But again, you know, we can't do that anymore. I think we can't test the water. He's a very, very valuable asset for Man United. You know, and I think it's the same with Paul Pogba. People will say, well, let him go, but you know, how many games did we have where clutch games he got us a winner, or he was a standout player in that game, or players fear, you know. It's easy to kind of play with Bruno Fernandes because you can isolate him out of the game, but with Paul Pogba, it's very rare that teams get it and say to him, right, you're not playing today. You know, you're not doing your tricks. He finds a way.
The thing is, like, I think a couple of years ago, I think Marquinhos literally marked Pogba out of the game in the Champions League game. But the best thing right now we have is Pogba and Bruno. Yeah. These two can coincide with one another here, which is why, say Pogba gets man marked out of the game, you hopefully expect Bruno Fernandes to step up. Vice versa. If Bruno gets man marked out of the game, you expect Pogba to step up. That's the beauty we have. If we lose one of them, in this case Pogba, if someone marks Bruno out of the game, what are we doing for creativity? Nothing.
Yeah. And that's
we're relying on Jadon Sancho's first summer to carry us there in terms of the creative output, which is just a massive risk kind of thing. Because we always say we don't necessarily have a system to create chances. We have individual players that will produce magic moments to create them.
Absolutely. As a Madrid fan, I want Koundé as Varane's replacement. I watch him all the time. He's much better than people give credit for. Yeah, I think you know what I mean. He's a player that maybe might suit the La Liga. He's already there as a minute as it is. So you get me. Like it's someone who for me could do that, but you know it's a bit of a tricky time for Man United at the minute. You know what I mean. Sancho still not arrived. You know what I mean. Varane stalling. No sign of a midfield replacement. Goretzka is for me paper talk. I think he's trying to use United, you know, to get a new deal. You know what I mean? It's not the best time for Man United at the minute. Lingard wants to stay when in reality, you know what I mean, he should be moving on. You know what I mean? Even though I kind of want him to stay because I think Man United should use him. But as a squad perspective and as a dilemma, you know, there's still that problem of, you know, Lingard lurking around for Oli. What does he do with him? You know, there's a lot of problems at United right now. And there's not a lot of solutions. There's not a lot of, you know, kind of things happening right now. You know, we finished second last season, but without any trophies. We're meant to build on this season, but yet again, I think it's quiet everywhere in the league. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not many people are doing things around.
I think that's more to do with the Euros and Copa America, isn't it?
Yeah,
this summer, and obviously still technically a COVID market.
Say thoughts on rivals. Kane got 60 million. I think we'll have to see, man. I think that will materialize as the weeks go on. That will go at the end yesterday. I think that will happen towards like the end of the transfer window. I can't see it getting done now. If that happens in the next week or so, bloody hell, mate. Fair play to them.
Yeah, but
Whoever's
I don't think it'll be 160 million. I don't think City will pay that much money.
No, it's got to be. It's got, I reckon, 120, 100 million. I reckon somewhere in around. You know what I mean? So, Ilya says here, if you guys go into the season with McFred, you guys are going to suffer. You know what I mean? Anna's here, big up to Anna. He goes, Varane has arrived at pre-season again. You know what I mean? Was there a case of Varane ever rejecting and not coming to pre-season and started to say, yo, listen, I'm not coming back because it's in his duty, his contract, isn't it? You know what I mean? He'll probably be violating the contract and he'll probably get fined. So he's kind of doing the right thing, yeah. But, it's difficult for me, man, because I would love Varane to come to this football club. I really would, man. He would improve Man United. But, the easiest thing at Man United just never happens for me. And that's the problem. Someone asking you, hey, are you confident he'll come up to United? I'm not confident.
I'll be honest, my head's gone. I don't know what's going to happen with Rafa Varane, because for me, it's kind of like he's a megastar as a centre-back, innit? Like, he's still Rafa Varane. He's a massive name, which is why I'm kind of like, United might be attracted towards that. But at the same time, surely Real don't let him go this summer without a replacement, which you never know.
Billy C here with a super chat. Big up to Billy C. Goes, third time catching you live. Keep the early content going, bro. Big up. Statman, great content on your channel, mate. Yeah, big up, man. You know what I'm saying? We're loving it here, man. Make sure, people, you like the video, man. Get the likes up, people. It's only right because he doesn't know his future. Yeah. Why doesn't anyone mention Ndidi as a CDM? Well, that's your player, Statman, man. But again, it's Leicester, man, to sell Ndidi. Boy. That would be catastrophic for them, man. You know what I mean? Because that's their kind of holding midfielder. I think Samara is more of a box-to-box, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is, like normally in the past, you can kind of bully these Leicester sides, innit? But Leicester, for example, have money. They built another like training ground, didn't they, a couple of years ago? They have the money to kind of like say no to United unless the correct fee comes in. And I don't think we'll pay the money for Indeed this summer.
No. I think for me, it's too. I think Leicester run a football club properly, though. You know, I mean, I think they sold Maguire, but I think they've learnt the lesson now. They've learnt the lesson. Valuable assets, keep him. I think Maddison will eventually stay. I think he'll be part of that project. You know, what I mean, if only the right offer comes in, then they'll sell Maddison.
It's the right offer, and I think with Maddison, I think they will be happy to let him go because towards the end of last season, he didn't get along with Brendan Rodgers perfectly well. Like you saw it, I think, in the FA Cup final. I don't think he started, did he?
No.
Obviously, he had these problems with injury and stuff as well.
He came on the bench. Came on the bench, man. Came off of the bench.
He had his problem with injury, so it's kind of like it probably will be like the perfect way for him to like say step up his game, like going to Arsenal. I don't think that's a step up, but like he's a bigger club, if that makes sense. Yeah,
and there's obviously bigger wages as well. Casemiro is a free agent next summer with the option to extend. He said many times that he wants to play EPL. Surely United should. Again, Man United won't test the waters with him because he's a very, very valuable asset for Real Madrid. You know what I mean? If they would just do it, if someone comes in for him, they'll just put his contract up. And that's a similar way with Varane. It's like, there's still a chance that Man United could, so Real Madrid could still offer him a contract. You never know. If that's what he wants and he wants to feel like he's valued, he can create a circus around him. He'll have people around him that are agents, and they'll say to him, you know what, man? Say that you want to leave, man. Say that you want to try and do something different, and then next thing you kind of like, put the pressure on Real Madrid to say, what do you want to do? What's your angle?
And the thing is that you see Florentino Perez, like say what you want about him here and all the stuff that he says. He's a very clever businessman. He's gonna have a replacement if Casemiro leaves. Which is why I'm kind of like, and the same thing for Varane, which is why I still can't see it happening.
This is it, man. You know what I mean? And it's like, but Saeed, Varane has already said he wants to leave. They will offer him a contract. Again, I mean, that's the paper talk. You know what I mean? The thing is, you don't know what happens at the ingoings at the club. You don't know. There could be a change of hearts. There could be anything. Ramos was set to sign for Man United. Everything was in the motion. And then he signed a new contract. You know what I mean? Out of nowhere. Everyone was thought, like, this is it. Sergio Ramos to Man United, done deal. And then he signed a contract and just, put an egg on everyone's faces. And this can happen.
And the thing is, now Varane's back, you probably speak to Carlo Ancelotti the next couple of days as well. Let's see what Carlo will probably be like. Yeah, I think you're a valuable part of this squad. I want you to stay.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's difficult for United fans now to kind of get excited. And I think the media are playing on Man United a minute. Every person is linked. I wouldn't be surprised today if another midfielder was linked to Man United and said, "Oh, yeah, this is it. This is what you want. This you can have this or you can have that." Because Man United sell well, in terms of marketing, commercially, Twitter, social media, it sells well. So, I mean, it will happen. Billy C with a super chat here. Big up to Billy C. It's almost August, and officially we have signed a reserve keeper. No Deadwood offloaded. Don't worry though. Apparently, Milton's doing a great job. Absolutely, man. This year, I think this for me needs to be highlighted more. The Deadwood isn't gone. You know what I mean? And we've signed a reserve goalkeeper. Sancho is probably going to be signing, and that's that, mate. A lot of people are not realizing the fact that this should have been a summer where we should have closed the gap on Real Madrid and Liverpool. Sorry, Man City, Liverpool. This is a summer to do that. But United are acting like, but we'll wait, we'll do this. And man, go for it, man. Get in there.
Now we're never aggressive. We're never aggressive in the transfer market. Let's be honest here. The perfect scenario for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the staff is get your players in before the preseason started. Have your signings or be close to signing them. And it doesn't seem like we're close to signing Varane or Trippier, for example, which is frustrating. You want these players to bed into the squad. And then the first couple of games, you should be able to see them shine quicker.
Because we've got overinflated squad. You know what I mean? Someone says here, do you think Varane will be motivated enough, given that he's won everything? That's a question that we have to ask when it comes to this football club. It's a difficult question. But again, it's the environment we're coming. Have we won a lot? Can people blame me when it comes to Man United and say, "Oh, you've come in and you've not helped us win anything"? When reality, have Man United won anything? The culture at Man United has been wrong. We're not a winning club anymore. That was 10 years ago. We were a winning club. Under Sir Ferguson, we're a winning club. Not under the likes of the manager we've had in recently. We've kind of won Europa Leagues. We're talking about a top level club, things that he's won. We're not that club, so you can't blame him. So his motivation will never be as big as Man United's anyway.
I'm not necessarily scared about his motivation to win trophies. What I'm scared about is that at United, you're going to have an air of comfortability about your game kind of thing. You can make a mistake and you probably start the next game. At Real, you make a mistake, Real fans are on to you straight away. They boo Cristiano Ronaldo, for example. Imagine United fans doing that kind of thing.
Yep. Anas goes there. We went from such a high summer to now losing Paul Pogba and looking crap again. It's a deflating one for me, man, because you're losing a star player. You're losing a player of that keeps Man United a bit relevant in the European stage. Let's be real, man. If you look at the Man United squad, how many world-class players do we actually have? You
could argue Pogba and Bruno if you're stretching it. And Sancho.
Yeah. For me, I don't think Bruno Fernandes is world-class because he hasn't shown me. He's shown me world-class numbers in terms of his stats and whatnot.
I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying at a stretch, innit? That's the maximum that you can kind of give a shout to.
Luke Shaw, I wouldn't call him world-class. He need to do it for a couple of years. David De Gea.
Not recently.
I don't know, recent performances, I don't know. I wouldn't put him. Yeah, exactly. It's just for me. I would say Paul Pogba. So you're losing that star quality player, and I know for me you don't need 10 world class players to win a league. It can be done. I think Alex Ferguson proved that. We had a squad with Cleverley, Anderson, Welbeck. We had a lot of Raphael. We had Butner. We had a lot of players who weren't in that squad, that weren't at the best, but the manager had a system and an idea and a philosophy, and it made sense. I'm trying to say to you. So
just look at Liverpool more recently.
Yep, there you go.
Bang average footballers, half of them.
Yeah.
They still won the title.
Exactly. Saeed, you look like you just woke up. Yeah, man, I woke up, man, about an hour ago. But we're giving you the latest news, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you tune in. We had to rearrange the show, man, because I've got Steve's parties tonight, so I've got to go to that one. So I won't be about tonight for the 9 o'clock show. with Adam and obviously Statman. So we'll be back next week when we have to rearrange it today at 11 a.m. So big up to everybody tuning in, man. 313 of you here. Make sure you like the video. You get me. Shout out to everybody in the building. You guys will win the title. I'm not sure what you're smoking there, mate.
I hope
Say
so,
the stat, man. If you guess how many United signs we'll make, I don't know, man. K7. I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? I think we haven't made one yet. I mean,
Tom
obviously,
Heaton,
Sancho. Yeah, that's 2. Again, after that, mate.
I think we'll make 4 in total.
4. I don't know, mate. I can't do that, man. I can't answer you and say, yo, we're making 4. If you want my honest opinion, I think we'll get 2. I think we'll get 2. I think I'm not going to really add Tom Heaton because it was a free, but I think we'll get 2. I think it'll be a weird signing, the second one. But Varane, am I confident? I don't know, man. This club has not made me believe that this deal will happen. You know, they've not made me believe that. You know, so I think for me, you know what I mean, it's a difficult one, man. You know what I mean, and it's kind of deflated me, that Pogba one, because now we have to kind of work as a team now. You know, there isn't going to be that star quality, and we have to work as a team in terms of creating them brilliances and them moments. Now we have to work as a team now, because you know, you take Paul Pogba out of that starting 11 now. How do you see this new Man United team playing?
The thing is, my only hope is kind of like, you see Liverpool and Coutinho a couple of years ago, and Chelsea and Hazard. They got the money and then they replaced him in a couple of positions. Are United going to do that? The answer is probably no. But if we did, and we use the money elsewhere, like, I wouldn't mind it, kind of thing. But I don't trust this club at all. Like someone said, I think Manchester United will sign Ruben Neves. I'm not Ruben Neves' biggest fan, but like, I don't know what to make about Ruben Neves. What do you think of him?
Nah, I'm not kidding him. He's had 1 good season, 2 good seasons at best, man. You know what I mean? He's a Wolves player. You know what I mean? If he went to Tottenham, he'd be a Tottenham player. It's not a Man United player for me. Again, I use that term loosely because I think, you know, we've got McTominay playing and the McFred double pivot, and you know, certain players in that squad, and you think it's not good enough. But again, you know, Neves is a player who, it doesn't excite me. You know what I mean? It doesn't excite me. Can he? If he couldn't get into that Portuguese one, like I said to you, he couldn't get into that Portuguese team with Danilo and that other guy. You know what I mean? He didn't hardly play a game.
William Carvalho.
I think Paulinho came in ahead of him. I would probably go for Paulinho. You know what I mean? And that's the reality, mate. You take the Mickey on Big Six, but you're all serious here. Yo, man, we have to mix it up, Shaka, man. You know what I mean? Personalities can change. You know what I mean? But when it's time to be serious on there, I'll be serious.
Listen,
but over there, man, they banter me, man. They take the mick out of me because we've not won anything for a while. You know, Liverpool have won a Champions League and a Premier League in the last few years. Chelsea won a Champions League. Man City have won the league. I take the mick out of Toby, but then I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Should I take the mick out of Toby when reality Tottenham never ever done anything anyway? So he's always got free reign anyway. And listen, when you're not Turkish who knows how his football goes bad. So at the end of the day, man, I just have banter on there. When
you're with other fans, you're going to be shameless. You're going to back a club no matter what, kind of thing, in the worst possible way.
Yeah. You get me? You have to just, you know, look at football and just laugh, man. You get me? And I just go on there to have banter. You know what I mean? And when it's time to get serious, we'll get serious. You know what I mean? Gerard Street here says, with the players' high wage so high, DC United headed to Barcelona are in financial trouble, and how big soon? Big up, man. What do you think, Statman?
My answer is no, because I think under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has our wage bill not decreased? We've obviously lost Alexis Sanchez. We're probably going to lose David De Gea in the next couple of years. So I think overall our wage bill is starting to decrease, kind of thing.
I think David De Gea's still got 2 years left on his contract. You know what I mean? It's still not as if, you know what I mean, it's kind of just left. You know what I mean? So that one is a difficult one, man. But again, very, very inflated squad. You know what I mean? There's not many much outgoings. Again, I know there's still about how long's left till the transfer window closes? End of August, is it?
I think so, around that time.
Yeah, 31st of August. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Their problems are something else. Yeah, absolutely. But again, you know what I mean? They've still got a decent enough team, decent enough manager. You know what I mean? You know, they've still got Depay who's coming. You know, it's our wages aren't that high. I think our wages are high, mate. I don't know if you've seen our wages, mate. Would you take Titi on a free? No, injury prone. For me, you know what I mean? It's not a sort of player that Man United would need right now. Yeah, 31st of August. There's still a long time. I'm not going to lie. There's still about another 5 or 6 weeks. But again, you know, when you go into that season, should you be thinking about players? You know what I mean? You should have already a settled squad. You should be thinking, right, we've done our business now. Let's focus on the season. You know, if we lose the first 2 games in Man United, that's almost stretching to find a signing, and we panic buy and we pay over the odds. It's the same old problems again and again. You know, Man United don't really work. You know, you should have got the player in beforehand. You know, pre-season, embed your style of play into in what he does, and then go from there. You know what I mean? Not just buy a player, panic buy, and the next thing you know, you're struggling to where to fit him now because other people have come out and other people have, you know, had a good pre-season according to Wally or had a good start to the season. You know,
or already have like a solid style of play where the player can kind of slot in and everyone else knows his roles, which is kind of going to help him hide these deficiencies kind of thing for the first couple of games while he settles in.
Yeah. I think once the deal happens, there'll be a knock-on effect. City, Chelsea get Harry Kane, then the transfer will flow. Yeah, absolutely. You know, but I think, you know, a lot of clubs now are looking at teams are thinking, right, they've spent their money now. We can go in now. Do you get it? Like a lot of teams are doing that. You know, if City go and get Kane for 150 million, let's give that example. 150 million, they go and get him. And then Chelsea be like, wow, we need to do our business now. Haaland, boom, go in for it. Pay that 150 million. So it is a domino effect. They are waiting for things to happen.
I think I said that before, innit? Like, surely after one big transfer happens, everyone else kind of has to react, innit? And it's kind of like the only thing that with me right now with United is kind of like I'm kind of calm for now because no one else has done their business. City haven't signed no one, Liverpool haven't, or they signed Konate, and that's pretty much it. Chelsea haven't signed anyone. Leicester have already done their business, fair play to them. And Arsenal, they're kind of too far away from us, kind of thing, innit? To kind of worry about them for now in the nicest possible way.
Yeah. Billy C here in the super chat. You leave me in tears when you take a big out Grizz. It gets triggered so easily, bro. Zakaria would be a mint signing. 1 year left, I think. Again, you know what I mean? Would you take Zakaria?
Listen, when our midfield is McFred right now, I'm taking anyone.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Breaking news: Chelsea submitted a 130 million bid for Haaland in the next 24 hours. Is that true? Can people let me know if that's true? You know what I mean?
When people post these things, post a source next to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Chelsea won't get Haaland. You never know, people. This transfer window is very, very kind of, you know, it's just, for me, it's brewing up nicely, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's brewing up to a point where games are coming now and things are happening now, and they might come in and go boom. Like last night when that Harry Kane thing rumor came out, there was Man City correspondents, by the way, saying that news could happen. A lot of people think just because it's not Fabrizio Romano, it's not true. There are people who work closely with the club, like that Disco Mirror guy. Yeah, he was that guy who reported that he goes to press conferences all the time. He will know what this football club does. He'll know the press officer. He'll know certain people who work in that club. So there are kind of like, you know, don't just assume that just because it's not Fabrizio Romano and Christian Falk and all that, it's not true. That there are Man City correspondents who work closely with the club, that go everywhere with them, that check everywhere, and they do know people inside the club. So you get me, like it can happen, you know. But again, you have to kind of like see how things materialize, you know. Apparently, it's from Footy Insider. Chelsea straight cash for Erling Haaland after getting a green light from Abramovich. Again,
isn't that just a random Twitter account now? I swear that's just a random Twitter account. I never trust those Twitter accounts, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Saeed, do you think Griezmann and Saul swap deal will still happen? I think it will materialize soon because I think Simeone would like him, but apparently someone's saying that he's linked with City as well. You get me?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, exactly, like, man. I think
those deals are so dodgy, innit? Like you saw it with Barca a couple of years ago, the Pjanic Arthur swap deal. Like it's so dodgy, man.
Yeah. When is it Man United will finish without Pogba and with Varane? It's the thing is, right, you know, defensively last season I think we conceded a lot of goals, but for me, the what happened was I think the midfield was so bad that it affected defense. It affected everyone else. You know, the problem was, if you'd have said to me right now, what would you solve, the midfield or the defense first? I'd go for midfield.
That
I would
midfield wins
do.
games, isn't it? Or whether like controls the games kind of thing. That's the most
Controls the
important part.
game. I would do that, but again, we're led to believe we need the centre back before we midfield. And why can't we do both? That's a question as well. Why can't you do both?
I've always said it, for example, say if we sign Wilfred Ndidi in midfield, obviously it improves our midfield straight away, but it gives the defence extra cover. And then you can maybe push the fullbacks a bit higher because someone like Wilfred Ndidi has the mobility to cover out wide. Like, it has a massive knock-on effect, isn't it? The midfield.
Yeah. Shaka says, what are you at? I'm an NFC man, but you full as hell, my guy. Yeah, big up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do around here, man. You feel me? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I think they had 10 draws last season. Again, you know what I mean? It just shows you that creativity in that middle of the park was a difference, and we did do that, and that's the reality of it. Why the Statman's camera look good? Yo, let them know, man.
It's the lighting, isn't it? The lighting makes such a difference compared to before.
Yeah, exactly. I think Mbappe will come to Madrid this summer, but it's very complicated. At least the last 2 weeks also were crucial. Wants to join Real Madrid. Ooh, who's that? Mario Coutinho. Let's see if that reel is true. You know what I mean? Let's see if that kind of that source is true. I'd rather have a world-class defense because you can always bypass the midfield through long balls and some goal hanger. Again, the user account. Come on, man. Let's be real, man.
I understand what the guy's saying here, but say if you have a bad midfield, then the attackers are not getting the service. Goals win your games, for example. You can't just rely on set pieces every single week, can you?
And it gives more licenses for Ole just to ditch that 4-3-3 now, because then they'll just go with McTominay and Fred and Bruno, and then you've got Sancho, Martial or Cavani. You know what I mean? But again, you need creativity in there. Pogba with a Sancho would have made sense. It would have been the correct, idea to go forward. But Man United have kind of almost left this now to a point where, you're not optimistic about Varane anymore. You're not optimistic about Sancho now because, you're losing a player of quality of Paul Pogba who would have been so much better with all these guys here, And I know things in life move on, but, when you lose a player of that quality, and Man United won't be able to replace him, it leaves a sour taste, man. You know what I mean? It leaves a kind of feeling of, you lose a player of, let's say, of this quality, but then it's like you're trying to move on, you're trying to build. I don't know why Man United didn't want to build.
The mad thing is someone like Aston Villa have already prepared the Jack Grealish leaks because they've been linked to Leon Bailey, they've signed Buendia already.
Yeah.
Manchester United, Paul Pogba leaves, what are we going to do? Well, we got until August the 31st to find a replacement. And then you're basically going to be panicking. Every club knows you have the money because you're going to have the Paul Pogba money, and then you're just going to be ripped off and complain in the market.
Yeah.
It doesn't help anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, big up Johans, big up people. 138 likes, man. People, let's get it to 200 people. Big up to everybody.
That comment right there is Pogba doesn't want to be here, though. I hear that, but at the same time, he's never going to throw... He's never going to, his performances are not going to dip because he has respect for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has managed him in the academy and stuff. Pogba hasn't wanted to be at United for the last couple of years, but he still performed.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean? Hopefully Rose's contract now is better for us because the Glazers are not going to replace him. I've always said that for me. I'd rather keep him for another year and then find out if Man United are really good enough to kind of get him a contract offer, Rafael Varane has an agreement in principle with Man United until 2026, but he has not officially told Real Madrid he wants to leave. He's leaving his future in the hands of his teams.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's kind of like what I said before. I can't see Rafa Varane going on strike and stuff and forcing a move out because he has respect for Real. If United agree with 3 and Real are happy with it, then it's kind of like mutual agreement from both parties. Let's go kind of thing to United.
Yeah. So do you think Varane will come to Man United if Pogba is leaving? I think they don't really kind of match because again, Varane said he's looking for a new future. I think with the Pogba situation is he's thinking, well, Varane's won everything, you know what I mean? He's gonna come to Man United and he might just think, you know what, I've come to a new club. It's if I win stuff, I win stuff. But at the end of the day, no one can ever say to me my legacy of of what I've won and what I've achieved. Nobody can ever doubt it because I've won everything there is to win. Apart from maybe the Euros, he's not won the Euros, but apart from that, he's won everything there is to win. So again, they don't really. I wouldn't think they coincide because Pogba will think what's best for Pogba. He wants to win trophies. He wants to go back to Paris. It's different, man. You know what I mean? If that was the case, every footballer would go to a certain club because their friend is there.
And the thing is, Varane's main motivation is money at this point, and you can't blame him because football's a job kind of thing, isn't it? And if United pay the money, he will leave. He will come, even if Pogba leaves in my eyes.
Yeah, Champions League Varane, yeah, absolutely. I'm worried about Varane for our club. We'll mess about. We end up losing Pogba, not getting Varane, and having a bang average squad next season. You know what I mean? It's a difficult one. Said, why don't you use James Garner rather than Stock McTominay? Listen, I don't know, mate. That's for the manager to decide. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the physicality of James Garner is not quite there compared to Scott McTominay, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Say where the vlog's at. Vlog, I reckon I'll probably bring you out soon. I'm going to do one this weekend, so watch out for that one, people. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good one this weekend. Some of my United fans don't want to watch us, okay, but we have to do it because it's a habit. We love the club. Yeah, exactly, man. You know what I mean? Surely if Pogba goes, we can't be playing McFred and with a new CDM. This is a shambles on midfield and Oli Solly recognise it. But does he? Does this football club recognise it? Does this kind of football club see that Pogba leaving will be a big hole? Maybe they see Donny van de Beek stepping up in that role. Can Donny van de Beek step in that role? That'll be a question ready to be seen. But again, a lot of pressure for Donny then to perform next season. You know what I mean? Is it a good pressure? We'll see. Can Donny van de Beek do that role?
As a Pogba replacement, for me, the answer, say if we stick with a 4-2-3-1 and he plays in the double pivot, I don't think. Now, the thing is, I feel like he can play that role, but it's kind of like, can he play consistently with someone like Fred and McTominay?
Mm.
I don't think that's a great midfield kind of thing. Say if we got another holding midfielder like Ndidi, Donny van de Beek, Bruno, then it's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Henry says here, Sai, why don't we play Matic as a DM? He's still class. Our fans act like he's 40, but Fernandinho playing week in, week out at 36. Yep. I've always said that for me, but again, the problem is if we have Man United is we don't know what our style of play is. At least Fernandinho, he knows what he's doing, and the players help him out as well. They press with him, they cover him as well in the back. There's a system there built in. Fernandinho is never exposed. There's a reason why Fernandinho is never exposed. At Man United, Matic could get exposed.
Systems hide your deficiencies as a player. Like we saw Jorginho before at Frank Lampard. He was kind of criticised. Look at him at Tuchel right now. One of the best midfielders in the world, you could argue. Ballon d'Or shouts.
Ballon d'Or shouts, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And it's giving him that confidence that he can go to Italy and do the same stuff. You know what I mean? And that's what, great managers make players look good as well. You know what I mean? In terms of how they play. Matic and Donny, yeah, that could be a partnership because then Donny could be that player that could, be that buzz in there and kind of, help him out. Again, and they keep the ball well together. That would work, but again, Oli will never do that. Oli will never do the things that we think looks right or it feels right. He will never do that, and that's the problem with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that's his downfall. He doesn't play the players that are suited to the role. He plays players that are, that give him things that he thinks that are good for Man United, but in reality, it's not what it is. McFred have been the reason why this season Man United have not been able to win things. They haven't been that sort of inspiration that we needed in that midfield. It's helped. It's made us kind of defend more. It's made us not be aggressive midfield. It's made us not kind of have a midfield that is the standard of Man United. It's not done that.
Someone said Matic hasn't got 10 games in his legs. I do hear what you're saying with Matic's legs here, but it's kind of like if you play him one game a week or play him the more important game of the week, it's not bad, innit? And then you can kind of rotate him for Fred, for example, in the lesser games in that midfield.
Yeah.
Or Scott McTominay.
Again, we'll never know though. You know what I mean? We'll never know if Matic has got 10 games in his legs because we only did it in the lockdown period. But again, we'll never know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. If Pogba leaves on a free again, I think it's calm for the club. Second chance at a world-class talent, and they did it surrounded with mediocrity. Again, will we ever get a player of Paul Pogba's quality again? I ask that question to you. Have we seen the last world-class player at Man United? After see we get Sancho in, but he'll develop into a world-class player, hopefully. But have we seen the last world-class player to ever turn up at Man United?
I think the answer is no, because I think United still had a pulling power in it. Like, we're still Manchester United at the end of the day. We've got a stupid amount of money to pay people's wages in it, which will attract the players.
Cavani won't start more than 60% of the games as well. Yeah, we'll see. Why would you want Pogba to leave in a free? Because we don't trust this board to find an adequate replacement this summer. That's why I wanted to go for a free. Again, it might be selfish from me, but again, it is what it is, isn't it?
That money don't affect us; it affects the club. We're not going to be losing out on £60 million. It's the club. That's their problem.
Too much time on his hands. I don't know what you mean there. Saeed, do you know who Jaminho is? The guy's in every live stream. I don't know. Could be wrong. Where will you guys be going to the game next season? Yeah, I'll be going there. As a rival fan, why don't United boards have a plan B? Varane is a happy white centre back. Again, we don't. You know what I mean? It's one player only. I think we're linked with Pau Torres, but Pau Torres for me would be a disaster of a signing. I think he's
Lindelof vibes.
It's just, it's a Lindelof vibes. But again, have you noticed that Man United don't have like other options? There's not really kind of a list. Midfield list. There's no midfield list. There's no, centre back list. It's just one player, and that's it. They believe they're going to get him. They give fans a feeling of we're getting a world-class Varane or we're getting a Varane, and the Man United fans get sucked into that. And then we don't really kind of link with anyone else, and that's a problem in itself because there should be a kind of, for me, a kind of a pool of centre backs available this summer.
I think, for example, look at Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal literally said he had a list of signings in it, but he never got his first top 5 kind of thing, innit? But with United, we're not aware of who else is on that list right now.
Yeah, transfer crisis at United so far. Thought Edward left the club. He's not leaving until December, people. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it. He's not leaving until December. When I deep it, our midfield is shit. Yeah, when you deep it is, you know what I mean? And the reality is, Bruno has helped us out in terms of his numbers, and he's kind of given us that force in that number 10 role that we needed for so many years. But, that's been with Paul Pogba playing there. That's been, as much as we say Bruno Fernandes has given us that, Paul Pogba has been a centre of that, especially in that lockdown period, that midfield three that was working out every time,
The thing is that I don't think our midfield is necessarily bad. Like, if you look at the quality of midfielders we have, like, Nemanja Matic still has a part to play. Pogba, Bruno speak for themselves. Donny van de Beek, Fred. Like, we haven't got bad midfielders. It's kind of like Ollie hasn't found the right balance. McFred is not the right balance, no matter what. I rate a lot of these midfielders that we have. Like, say if we have a midfielder, Matic, Fred, and Pogba, for example, just off the top of my head, I don't think that's the midfield I'll go with, but that's a nice, balanced midfield three and probably emulates the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the start of the season closely, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. Kimpembe wants to leave PSG after Ramos signing. He would be good for United. I think he'll play. Maybe they might play a back three. You know what I mean?
They might play Marquinhos at holding midfield.
Yeah, exactly. Marquinhos holding midfielder. So again, don't think. You know what I mean? Again, you know what I mean? It's the grass isn't always green on the other side. You know what I mean? He's 26, 27. Sergio Ramos is 35. You know what I mean? There's still, and he's a Parisian man. You know what I mean? He won't do that for me. Yeah, exactly. I think we're just gonna lose that star quality people. And that's the reason.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say from Scuba Dive. Our best midfield under Oli was Pogba, Matic, and Herrera. Pogba, Fred, and Matic is the closest thing we have to that midfield kind of thing.
Wilmar Barrios, you heard of him for Zenit?
Nah. 13 tackles per game. Surely that's not right.
Wow. How do you think Lingard fits in for the upcoming season? I'm not sure, man. He's probably thinking again that we didn't win anything last season, so I can make my way into the squad. I really genuinely believe that he's thinking, you guys haven't won anything this season. I can make myself into the squad. And that's the reality,
The thing is, when I look at Lingard, I still think he has a part to play in the squad, innit? Like I said it, I think I said it yesterday on Red Talk. Like if you utilize him correctly, especially like for example in certain games, like his transition from midfield to attack is brilliant. His ball carrying ability is brilliant. If you use him correctly, it's not a bad option to have. I'm not saying he should be starting every single game, but as an option, he's not bad. But it's kind of like, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer utilize options? The answer is no.
Yeah, exactly. There's that, and that's the key thing, man. Does he utilize his option? And that's the thing, you know what I mean? And that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, yes, big up to RB, subscribe to Saida Statman. McFred would best duo in world football. I don't know if he's a troll in there. You know what I mean? We nearly got Bellingham. Yeah, exactly. We nearly got Bellingham. Showed him around Old Trafford.
That would have been such a good signing, man. I'm so jealous of Bellingham right now.
Yeah, man. The way we messed up Matt Sancho deal, so much of Business United, his proper football club, Varane would have been in for the start of the season. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Calvin Phillips as an option. I would think he's a good option, but again, you know what I mean? He would cost a lot of money. He's had a good World Cup. English tax, I reckon he'll go for about 40, 50 million. Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
not
like fully convinced by Calvin Phillips just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. But people, we're going to wrap it up there, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been over an hour shouting. We flew by the hour. Bit of news about Varane, Pogba. You know what I mean? Let's how this develops. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you like the video, man. If you haven't liked the video already, now's your time to do it. Smash a like on the video right now. And big up to everybody who's tuned in. You feel me? We'll be back next time, same time on Friday at 9 p.m. Obviously, you know what I mean? We've just had to finish this early because I've got plans tonight. There might be Mank Talk later on. I'm going to be meeting Steve and Toby. So I might be showing Mank Talk. I might put that out tonight or tomorrow. We'll see how we feel. Probably tomorrow evening I'll put that out. But yeah, man, people, make sure you follow Statman Bays. The link is in the title. All you got to do is hit the hyperlink. And yeah, man, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And yeah, man, we're out, people. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. And Pogba, Varane. Big talking points. But we'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.